Donald Trump is in a state of panic like we have never seen before because in the midst of the worst scandal of his entire presidency, with MAGA tearing him apart, his cabinet in shambles, Donald Trump just got hit with the worst bombshell yet. And it is coming from Jeffrey Epstein's criminal counterpart, Ghislaine Maxwell, who Donald Trump reportedly considered pardoning to try to keep her quiet. But that will no longer be the case in a bombshell story that we are going to get into. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before we get into this bombshell, we need to start with why it is so bad for Donald Trump, and we can see that in his panic back in 2020.
Mr. President, the other day a reporter asked you about Ghislaine Maxwell. You said, quote, "I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, but I wish her well, whatever it is." Mr. President, Ghislaine Maxwell has been arrested on allegations of child sex trafficking. Why would you wish such a person well?
I don't know that, but I do know that
she has. She's been arrested for that. You know that.
Her friend or boyfriend,
Epstein,
was either killed or committed suicide in jail. She's now in jail. Yeah, I wish her well. I'd wish you well. I'd wish a lot of people well. Good luck. Let them prove somebody was guilty. I mean, do you know that?
Oh, so you're saying you hope she doesn't die in jail? Is that what you mean by wish her well?
Her boyfriend died in jail, and people are still trying to figure out, how did it happen? Was it suicide? Was he killed? And I do wish her well. I'm not looking for anything bad for her. I'm not looking bad for anybody. And they took that and
I mean, she's a child sex, alleged child sex trafficker.
Big deal. But all it is her boyfriend died. He died in jail. Was he killed? Was it suicide? I do. I wish her well.
With Donald Trump freaking out over these Epstein files, trying to hide them, cover them up, and distract us, with Elon Musk's allegation that Donald Trump is in fact in the Epstein files, and of course we know that they were buddies for decades, it is of course making a lot of sense right now that Donald Trump was wishing Maxwell well. That he wanted to be on her good side, that he didn't want her speaking out, that he was potentially going to pardon her because Donald Trump is terrified about what might come out about him and Epstein. And pretty soon, he's not going to be able to stop it. Not because of this bombshell alone, but also because of something Jamie Raskin had to say right here.
Look, why would Trump not want to release it at this point when he's been demanding an open, complete, comprehensive accounting and release? Either one, he's implicated, and they don't want to doctor the tapes, or at least doctor them any further, because there is that mysterious 1 minute missing of the tape in the prison. But so either he's implicated, or there are other high-ranking Republicans he's covering up for, or there are people on there that he wants to use this as leverage against, which we know is also a big, MO for Donald Trump. He would like to have the coercive leverage of possessing this arsenal of information around them. It'd be much better for everybody to come clean, and let's vindicate the public interest here. I'm going to be asking Chairman Jordan to call for a hearing where we subpoena the Attorney General and Dan Bongino and Kash Patel to come in and tell us everything that we know, because this thing is really spinning out of control at this point, and there's one way to put it to rest, which is to come clean, as President Trump promised he would during the campaign.
Jamie Raskin is prepared to do everything possible to bring Pam Bondi, to bring Kash Patel, to bring Dan Bongino before Congress to testify about what they know, about what they knew, about what they have lied about. He is going to make them put it all on record. And of course, we know they absolutely do not want to, because whatever they say will either get them in trouble with Trump or get them in trouble with MAGA. Clearly, Dan Bongino and Kash Patel are more worried about losing the MAGA gravy train, and of course Pam Bondi is just an extension of Donald Trump and worried about her boss, but someone who clearly is not afraid now to speak out and wants to go on the record. The reason for this bombshell is Ghislaine Maxwell. Exclusive. Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell is ready to reveal truth of the client list, say insiders. So why are Republicans blocking her? Ghislaine Maxwell is willing to speak in front of Congress about the Epstein files, sources tell the Daily Mail. Maxwell, 63, is the only person behind bars, serving 20 years on child sex trafficking charges, despite the fact that pedophile Jeffrey Epstein allegedly controlled a web of underage girls. Additionally, Epstein's victims allege that they were passed around as toys to his wealthy friends and billionaire businessmen associates who regularly visited his homes, including his private island. Now, a source said, despite the rumors, Ghislaine Maxwell was never offered any kind of plea deal. She would have been more than happy to sit before Congress and tell her story. No one from the government has ever asked her to share what she knows. She remains the only person to be jailed in connection to Epstein, and she would welcome the chance to tell America the truth. What that truth is remains to be seen. Maxwell was convicted in 2022 over her role in a scheme to sexually exploit and abuse minors with Epstein over the course of a decade. The Epstein cover-up was also a main topic of conversation among attendees of this weekend's Student Action Summit in Tampa, Florida, hosted by conservative group Turning Point USA, an organization many credit with rallying Trump's young base before last year's presidential election. Sharon Allen, an attendee, told NBC News, "It's not even about Pam Bondi to me. It's like, look, Trump, he was elected because you were supposed to be different, so you have to prove to us that you are different." A source close to Maxwell told the Daily Mail that the former girlfriend of Epstein, who continues to protest her innocence, would welcome the chance to sit in front of Congress and tell her story. So obviously the bombshell here is that Ghislaine Maxwell is now offering to go to Congress and testify the truth. Whatever that truth may be, however damaging to Donald Trump and his associates. But what might be even more interesting to me than that headline is the fact that she hasn't been asked before. Didn't Donald Trump want to get to the bottom of this during his first administration? When he was wishing her well, why didn't he bring her in? If he said, as we saw in the first clip of this video, that he doesn't know if it's true or not, it's allegations, have they been proven? Why didn't Donald Trump want to give her a chance? Clearly they were friends. Didn't he believe her? Why didn't Donald Trump want her talking back then? Again, we have to repeat these things because MAGA coming to the realization that Donald Trump has been lying to them all along is, of course, something that we will talk about and celebrate, that MAGA is engaged in this civil war with itself. But how did you not realize till now? How is this the breaking point? How are you just figuring it out? You have been betrayed time and time again by Donald Trump, and someone who broke that down on a whole host of issues was Senator Jon Ossoff in an incredible speech right here.
President Trump promised to end the wars. He promised to release the Epstein files. Did anyone really think the sexual predator president who used to party with Jeffrey Epstein was going to release the Epstein files? I don't want to hear another Republican member of Congress ever again pretend to care about deficits and debt. These cowards and hypocrites in the Freedom Caucus, they make their entire fake persona about cutting deficits. And then they get threatened with a primary and they fold for a Big Mac on Air Force One. So now, our kids and our kids' kids and their grandkids have $4 trillion more debt to pay down. And it's not even like it's for a good cause. It's so someone worth $50 million can buy another vacation home to visit once a year. Meanwhile, there are plenty of things that are worth public investment. I would like one of my Republican colleagues to explain why an American family has to pay $3,000 to ride a few miles in an ambulance to the hospital, when we're handing out $1 million tax breaks to the wealthiest people in the country. I want to hear them explain that. or why they're canceling the projects that actually can make a difference for hardworking people in our state, or why they're canceling the projects that actually can make a difference for hardworking people in our state. Do you all know Thomasville, Georgia? Yes. Thomas County, just a few miles from the Florida line, small, rural. Thomasville's never gotten much love from Washington. There's short health care options. The infrastructure's old. So a couple years back, we allocated federal funds to help them build a new health clinic and upgrade their sewers. Now, health clinics and sewers didn't used to be controversial. But then out of nowhere, the Trump administration canceled the grant for Thomasville. Y'all know why? First, because the project had the word justice in it. And justice is now a forbidden word in Washington. And second, because a tiny amount of the grant was for electric lawnmowers to maintain the new facilities. And electric vehicles, which were supposed to be Georgia's economic future, are now considered woke. So no more health clinic, no more sewer upgrades for Thomasville.
I have seen far too many Democrats say that we need to move on from the Epstein scandal. I don't know why. Saw Richie Torres say it on CNN, that this isn't something that we should be focused on. Of course it is. Sure, this is not the closing message for the midterms with 24 hours till polls open, people sending in mail-in ballots. I don't want to be only sending Trump-Epstein flyers, but it is a perfect connection to the broader theme of betrayal that this administration is all about. That was so perfectly summed up by Senator Ossoff, that Donald Trump has constantly turned his back on anyone who has given him trust, exploited them for every dollar, every vote, everything they've had, all of their support. That is what Donald Trump has done. Now it's coming back to bite him, not just because MAGA is leaving him, not just because it means the gravy train will not be overflowing like it used to. Donald Trump maybe is going to take a hit on the meme coin money. Still made billions off of it. It's disgusting. But he's also going to be taking a political hit come the midterms. And this is now a wedge issue. Republicans, do you side with your base, who wants these files public, or do you side with Donald Trump, who threatened to primary Senate Republicans if they didn't vote to defund PBS? Yeah. So if they go against Trump on the Epstein files, then what is he going to do to him? It's going to be a bloodbath, and one I am very much looking forward to watching and even more excited about covering. And if you want to stick around to watch all of that, we're going to be covering it here. Of course, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and if you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.